Ta-da. I'm gonna start recording the stream as well. Looking for my broadcaster.
There we go. It's Darius. You can see on cam now.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. Nice. Let me just confirm it is working on XSplit.
I knew he was black.
Oh, I gotta change the screen regions.
There we go. No, apparently I'm just a viewer. McMuffin Puffer.
Alright. Alright, so I got the stream working now. Actually, already got someone asking with a call. Or, excuse me, with a question.
You cover up my face.
I covered up your face?
Nah, it was just because when you popped that up.
Oh, yeah. Just my pop-out coming in. But I'll get to your question in a moment, Dom. It says no mods in channel for some reason for the show.
Try and click on, if you go to where the thing is, you go to viewers, you can click on my name and should be able to change something there.
Could you send me the notes in a separate conversation? Because I think it's gonna take ages before I got the document.
Let me check it out.
Or upload it somewhere.
I didn't get anything on my inbox.
The video?
I don't see anything on Tumblr at all.
What are you talking about? I'm lost.
I don't see anything in. No, if like you check out chat, they said they sent me a lot of questions.
Oh, okay.
And I don't have anything in my inbox at all.
Oh, here we go. Finally got
30,
it.
what?
You have 30 questions?
Apparently not. Look, I have a little. This kind of dangerous. Let's see here. I don't have anything. It's blank. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, using a laptop, and if it unplugs, it shuts off. So that's why I said it was dangerous.
Man, you miswrote my name. You suck, dude.
What is it? I'm sorry. Let me change it. It's not. It's serious.
No man.
Oh, it's
me some
IZ.
more.
Fuck me.
Oh guys, real amateurs.
Oh my goodness. I am so sorry.
Aki.
Hold
What's
on.
the name of the IRC channel you guys are using?
I'm just using the Twitch, or excuse me, the Own 3D chat.
Did Own change from IRC?
I
Browser
thought so.
Oh, okay.
It's just I'm just using the live pop out right now.
Alright.
No, stop freezing, browser.
Oh, you guys are listed as moderators. KSG Rift Talk, Killsteel Gaming, and Digital Time or DAG, whatever. Sorry. You guys are all listed as Oh, we can get to that for sure, Aquin. We can get to that question. That's
What's the
actually pretty
question
interesting. The question was mainly about Darius and Draven, who would win in a 1v1.
Interesting.
Guys,
I've seen that matchup
That'd
actually.
be pretty interesting. I don't know. Is I spelled it wrong again? Are you kidding me? Oh my
You're
goodness.
fired.
Not bad.
It's serious. He even typed it out for you.
He did. I appreciate that.
yeah, I can
What?
go on the
I gotta change the other one too. Hold on.
What is this? I had like 50 tabs. My Firefox crashes. Now I got none. Oh my god.
Can't you restore them?
Yeah, but for some reason it just like I don't know. I'll probably figure it out later.
All right, I'll have to fix that next one. When we actually get a caller in. Or just say if we get a caller in. because there's no guarantees.
And Akin, if you feel the need to still send me some mail, feel free to do so. I'll still take a look at it.
Alright. I will try to do my best to give updates as well as to the I'm watching Fnatic and TSM Evo. I have it up on my TV, so I can give updates to that when things actually go down. So don't be worried if you're interested in watching the game as well. But alright, let's start the show. So welcome to the first episode of Rift Talk. First, let me explain a little bit about the show. This show will be based on theory crafting, player preference, and the acceptance of different ideas. We're going to engage in debate-style discussions, encouraging crosstalk between the players, and we'll also be accepting viewer calls and questions through the show as appropriate. So how does one get on the show? Simply add KSG_Rift Talk to your Skype contact list. I will add you. Send your questions via Skype or through chat, and I will add you to the call as appropriate at set intervals. Please be ready with questions or something that you'd like to discuss. So today we have FYA Umashi, currently a 2.1k ELO player on the NA server. Umashi, why don't you take a minute to introduce yourself, talk about what role you play, your favorite champion, and give us a random fact.
Hi, I'm FYA Umashi, and I play solo top, and I like to play weird champions that nobody likes to play, like Volibear and Shyvana top, and generally they get a little popularity later on, but I just like to play things that nobody else plays. It's fun to, mess around with it in top lane. And my main champions are Warwick, Volibear, and Yorick right now, although I do enjoy playing some hybrid champions like Jax and Kayle as well, and occasionally like Nidalee and Udyr, but that's rare.
Alright, sweet, thank you. Hey Mashi. It's serious.
Is it serious?
Is it
Yeah.
serious?
Rely, man.
you are a 2.1k ELO player on EUS.
2.2 now, man.
2.2, congratulations. It
Thank
wasn't 2.2 a couple days ago when I set this up, but congratulations to you. So why don't you introduce yourself, please?
I'm Izitserious from the EUS server. I'm mostly playing solo top, and in solo queue sometimes other stuff, because it has to. My most played champions at the moment are Cannon, Vladimir, and Jax. I enjoy playing them, Cannon the most, because of his combo system. And I also enjoy playing Singe top or Singe jungle and Rumble. With Rumble I have like 15-1, 4 loss now, because people on EUS don't know how to play against Rumble.
That's quite funny. Alright, well thank you very much. Is it serious? So today, what we will be discussing, obviously, is going to be top lane. What we will be discussing is personal views, opinions, and flavors of the month. Obviously, EUS is probably going to have some differences than NA. Some champions that these players really like to play, strengths and weaknesses of these champions, their item builds, counter picks, viability. Alright, so let's start talking about some of the most popular top lanes in the game right now. So, first and foremost, I want to go over Riven. I feel like she's really, really strong, either in the jungle or in top lane, especially when she's able to get a lot of farm. I don't see how a lot of people can really compete with her. So, let's first talk about the most recent nerfs to her. In the Sejuani patch, her movement speed was reduced to 320 from 325. Base health regen was reduced to 10.4 per 5, reduced from 12. Health regen per level reduced to 0.9 from 1.0. Broken wings damage was reduced, and key burst was reduced. So, how do you feel about Riven in general, Umashi?
Well, even after the nerf, she's still really strong. She still has the burst and the harass that makes her really hard to deal with for a lot of top laners. But I feel she isn't as strong as she was, like, a few months ago. Because you can actually deal with her now. I can pick Warwick, or I can pick Volibear, or actually, generally when I'm against the Riven, I like Jax. And I can actually deal with her damage, which is nice, but even so, Riven is just a really annoying top lane. Her harass is too high, and she can hard engage too well.
Her level 1 harass is just like, it's ridiculous. She gets 3 spells for the cost of 1 at level 1. And it's just 2 shots in, 1 shot out. And, I mean, like, there's no other level 1 champion, I believe, that can deal with that kind of punishment so early in the game, if that Riven plays it right. It's serious. What is your opinion on Riven?
Riven is a really strong hero, but since the nerfs, before it she was like the king of top lane, or at least in my opinion.
Mhm.
But now people like Irelia can just go through the early phase, like level 1 to 6, and after that Riven isn't really a problem for Irelia, and some other heroes don't have that much trouble with Riven anymore, like Jax.
All right, sounds good. We got a question real quick from McMuffin Puffer. What are your thoughts about Wukong?
Uh, Wukong, well, Wukong's like really hard to gank, but there's so many champions like that can shut down Wukong in top lane. Because like easy champions like Kennen Gangplank can do it really well, and Udyr, Yorick, Pantheon. There's just too many counter picks.
Yeah, and
But-
Riven and Lee Sin.
Oh yeah, Riven too. But Wukong still does a lot of damage and brings a lot to a team fight if you can survive top, the laning phase.
Do you think that if Wukong can survive his early defects, even if he doesn't dominate the lane, can he still be a viable asset to the team later?
Oh yeah, with the AoE CC on his ultimate and the damage, he brings a ton to a team comp. But the issue is you can have like a champion like Darius who does a lot of AoE damage and stuff, who just is more useful in the same
You
situation.
don't have the same engage though.
Not the same engage,
Right.
but you can pick another champion with good AoE CC. Like
Yeah.
even you could pick a Mumu top, and that's pretty fun to do, and it works pretty well.
You can go with the
Um,
Azingi build top and just troll that way.
Yeah, I do that. It's fun.
Do you happen to find yourself getting GP10 or no?
Sometimes. It really depends on the matchup. If you're in a hard matchup, sometimes you'll want to go with damage so you can survive the matchup, and sometimes you'll want to go with GP10 so that you can just stand back and farm. But more often than not, I'm finding myself going with more AP, like Dorn's Rings and stuff, rather than the GP10.
All right, sounds good. How about GP10s in general for top lane? You don't find yourself ever building a Philo or a Heart of Gold early on in the game, or what?
Most of the time a Heart of Gold.
Sometimes a Heart of Gold, but you always want to get it
Yeah,
before the
'cause it
20-minute
gives you-
mark, right?
Yeah, it gives you health, and some champions like Olaf and Shen or something really like Heart of Gold, and you get the GP10 from it. So later on you can still build it into a Rend Wins, what's also really good for them.
All
Yeah.
right. Sounds good. So getting back onto Riven, I have Wings of Death's most common builds for Riven, and obviously he's like the most famed Riven player. I've seen like in every tournament he's played in the past couple months that he's been on TSM Evo, that Riven is always banned, and it's always pointed towards him. Like, hey, we know you play Riven. We don't want you to pick him. Not here, not now. So most of the time he goes with the Doran's Blade, Bloodthirster, Tabby's Merc Treads, Last Whisper, and Guardian Angels. That seems like a pretty standard Riven build. But one thing I really wanted to know about was why he doesn't go for a Hex Drinker or Maw of the Malmortis. Like, it's rarely an item ever built on him. Why would you think that?
Because Riven needs a lot of AD, and Bloodthirster gives all the AD she wants.
And she's also really mobile and positioning based, so if you have the skill to play her, then you don't really need to go with defensive items as much. You
And
just
her
go with
shield skills with
Angel for
AD.
safety.
So
yeah,
you think,
that too.
so her scale, or excuse me, so her shield scales enough with AD to where she doesn't need the extra 200 to 400 shield from the Maw or the Hex Drinker.
If you know
Yep.
how to position in fights.
Okay.
A
That
Wings
makes
of
sense.
Death would probably still make a Hex Drinker if he's against Ganon or something, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
Or if he really needs it against someone.
Like a double AP build, you think you'd probably build
Yeah.
it, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Other than that, probably not a good item. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. So what would you change about it? I mean, is there anything that you'd like to see different when you play Riven? Maybe 2 Doran's Blades, maybe not getting the Last Whisper as often.
I like his solo queue build more. 4 Bloodthirsters and Last Whisper. A lot more fun.
Oh god, how long does it take to farm up those 4 Bloodthirsters? Quite a bit, I imagine.
He
If you're
generally has.
snowballing, not that long.
when I play against him, my team usually feeds him to hell, so it's like 35 minutes for him to have a full build and fully farm Bloodthirsters.
Wow, that's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
I thought if you spam that Q enough, you'd be able to farm those up fairly quickly though.
Oh yeah, you can
Yeah, that makes
if you
sense.
have enough Bloodthirsters, you can kill an entire creep wave with just Q.
Just gone.
Alright, so I have a question about Jungle Riven. I main jungler, and I love doing it, but I always get 2 Doran's Blades instead of getting a Wriggles, because she's not really an on-hit champion, right? Her Wriggles
Yeah.
won't proc with any of her abilities. So why do you see that some people will actually build a Wriggles on Riven?
Because they think every jungler needs a Wriggles.
Yeah.
Like, you need the lifesteal, but
That's
Doran's Blaze gives you health, gives you lifesteal, and gives you damage. They're like all the things Riven needs.
Yeah, it's the same situation where people always buy it on Lee Sin. Lee Sin does a bit more auto attacking, but you don't really need it. It's just its survivability and its damage, and it's kind of like the go-to for junglers.
Makes sense. I like Wriggles on Lee Sin only because I don't take Flash. So having the Wriggles is like my free Flash or my get out of jail free card. That's the only reason I usually build it on him. Although I did love the 2 Dorans build. All right.
Against double AP, you can better go Doran's Blades instead of Wriggles, because the armor isn't gonna help you.
So do you think that even if they ran a standard meta of an AD top, an AD bruiser top, an AP mid, and then an AD like a pure AD, let's say like Draven bottom, and then let's say I guess who can I think of? Nunu. Would you still build a Wriggles on Riven, or because of the defensive stats, or would you want to go with the double Doran still?
I never built Wriggles on Riven.
You
I
never
think
built.
it's just a bad item on her.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Makes
don't
sense.
either.
Makes a lot of sense. So we have we have another question about whatever happened to Hecarim.
Not enough people were building 5 Phantom Dancers.
It was
No, that's not a troll answer. That's a completely serious answer.
Really?
Every game I've ever played as Hecarim, I've done horribly unless I build 5 Phantom Dancers.
I just never
Why do you say that? Because of the speed scaling?
because of the speed
Literally
scaling is
so-
And
horrible
that
though.
passive is just
So much damage if you stack movement speed. It's ridiculous.
I'm actually gonna try that now.
I never thought it was that good of an idea for the 5 Phantom Dancers. Like I had a friend do it, and I didn't appreciate how squishy he was. It was quite horrendous.
you can throw an X-Bane in it too.
He's the new assassin, that's why.
He's the new
If you get
assassin.
that.
Come at the
Exact-
team from the side, riding on your pony, kill
Exact-
everybody. All right, so let's move on to Shen. In the Draven patch, his key strike cooldown was increased to 9 seconds from 8 seconds. In the Lulu patch, his Vorpal blade damage was reduced and cooldown increased. And then in February, we had the hotfix, and then before that, we had the massive change to him, which completely made him broken right before Hanover, if I'm not mistaken. And so community-wide, it looks like the standard builds for Shen are going to be Heart of Gold, Wits, Aegis, Randuin, Sunfire Cape, and then normal boots. So let's talk about, let's first talk about, do either of you play Shen top?
I do when like my team asks me to, because otherwise the enemy team's gonna pick it. But it's never my go-to.
It's never your go-to. Was it your
You do it, but I think he's stronger in the jungle now.
Sweet.
Because
That's
the changes, before that he was really strong top, but now he's pretty much not that strong anymore, and a lot of laners can just compete with him and just stay in lane.
definitely. So let's talk about the Shen rework really quickly. Obviously, was it over the top or was it justified? I mean, they wanted to make Shen viable again, but did they not take enough time to think about the rework when they brought it out?
I think they got
That's-
pressured a lot by many people who were like, "Whoa, you need to buff Shen, buff Shen." Then he got buffed, and everyone was like, "No, nerf Shen, nerf Shen."
Yeah.
So true.
People are really indecisive when it comes to their, underpowered champions.
He was pretty broken when he came out. I mean, he was underpowered to the point where nobody was playing him, obviously. But I mean, I don't know. They really messed up on that one, and
Yeah.
obviously they could tell by the hotfix that had to come out to fix the problems.
Not completely. Like, if you knew how to face a Shen, even right after they buffed him up, you could beat him if you played it right. It's just the issue was it was too easy to win your lane in like blind pick and against players who don't know how to play against Shen and stuff. He wasn't like over the top like Xin Zhao release, but he was still pretty strong.
So what do you do to stop Shen?
I pick Warwick.
All right, that works.
You gotta remember, you said blind pick.
Yeah, you said blind pick. So what do you do in blind pick to stop Shen?
I don't play solo top in blind pick.
That's a mess. It always turns out bad.
Yeah.
So, Izitserious already gave us his opinion that he prefers Shen in the jungle. Umashi, how do you feel about that?
If I was going to have a Shen on a team, I would stick at top lane just because he's not that fast of a jungler. Even if his ganks are decent, he's still single target.
Okay.
But he's not bad in the jungle. It's just he's single target, so he's kind of slow compared to some of the others.
Definitely. I was actually just playing a game not too long ago with Jungle Shen, and I was like, this is ridiculous. Compared to Nocturne, it's so damn slow. Like, hitting level 6 was just horrendous. He was level 6, and I was level 5, and I only got one gank off, so that was sad.
He honestly doesn't do too bad. You have to really time those ults as well.
Yeah.
Really
But Shen has
them
really
off
strong
for a
ganks.
fighter.
Like, once you get to level 2 or level 3, you can just gank a lane and camp it.
Yeah, definitely.
Flash downs and all that stuff.
Yeah, his ganks are extremely strong, but definitely you need a lane that has at least a decent amount of damage early on, and I guess that's where our team failed, that we didn't have damage in our mid lane pre-6, which made me cry a little bit. Should have been a free first blood. Oh well. Anyways, what do you look for when considering using your ult to Shen? What are your main thoughts? And I'm talking about solo queue, not competitive play with your fives team, where you're able to actually talk to someone. When someone's already in the middle of an engage and they're losing it, and you ult them, 90% of the time for me, they're already retreating by the time my ult goes off. And they think like, oh, well, thank you for the shield. And it's like, well, I wanted to win that fight. That's why I wanted to get down there. Like, I was going to ult and then taunt. But how do you communicate that with your team?
I just don't ult.
You just don't ult?
Don't.
It's not worth it. Just win your lane and save your ult for team fights.
Alright. It's serious?
Do you happen to... I'm sorry.
I don't really have an opinion on that, but most of the time when I ult I have the same problem, like, whoa, why are you walking back now? Yeah, you gave me my shield, so that's alright.
Alright.
Do you happen to take TP or no?
No.
Yeah, no teleport. Ghost ignite all the way.
So.
Works. 90% of the
Flash
time it
works
works
too.
all the time. I love taking Ghost on Shen, being able to chase everybody down.
Yeah, I have this. I run Ghost Ignite, O21-9, and movement sequence on every top laner.
Every top laner?
Every top
021-9?
laner. Yes, O21-9. Well, except for maybe Riven.
I was
but
about to
don't
ask, I
really
was like,
play
even Riven?
Riven. I don't really play Riven that much, so she doesn't really count.
So what do you do with Riven? You take 921?
I take 21-9-0.
2190. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And how do you stop a Shen from split pushing? Because it seems like that is his strongest feature, where if he has a tanky support, or anybody who can tank the initial part of the burst of the team, like if you're split pushing and then they get initiated on, you just ult that target, and then immediately it comes back to a 5v5.
You need to not wait too long, and you need to hard engage onto the enemy, like a squishy AD carry or something, and you need to kill them before the Shen can really get there, or at least force them out of the fight. It does take them a second to get in the fight, so you use that just like that 1-2 seconds to really get the damage off you need.
Okay. Sounds good.
So you're saying to focus fire them? Like the,
Yeah,
like the squishy?
You want to
You
focus
just have
on
Art
the squishy.
Initiator,
Yeah,
Cannon, Jarvan,
yeah, something like that.
Malphite.
Because even the shield isn't that big of a deal. It's when Shen actually gets there is the problem, where he's able to taunt you off of his carry, correct?
Yeah,
The
exactly.
shield is still pretty big though.
Yeah.
Next level shield.
Yeah, you have like if they have a Janna support and a Shen top, you're not gonna kill that carry. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's a good point. Janna will just ult everybody away as soon as the engage happens.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I accidentally missed the end of the TSM Evo Fnatic game, but they're going into game 2 right now. I apologize for that. So we have 2 questions real quick. How do you deal with Xin Zhao? I mean,
So,
He can only hard engage. You just 1v1 him. If you don't 1v1 Xin Zhao, you win.
I haven't seen Xin Zhao played in such a long time.
Well, he's going to be
I'd
getting
say so.
some new picks in, so for the splash shard, so you might see some new peeps in.
I still don't think that many people are going to play Xin Zhao. Like,
I love
There's that usually causes some sort of small shift for people to play him just to see how
just
the new splash
just
shard
the
looks.
splash art coming out. I guess that's
Mhm.
really what happened with Amumu. Like the new Amumu
Yep.
skin comes out, and then everybody starts picking him up again.
And you're gonna start seeing more of those because there's new splash shot for him as well,
Hmm.
and Teemo, massive
God.
Teemos.
I hate
Oh, I'm gonna play
Teemo.
so much Teemo.
There's the new Panda to Teemo skin gonna come out soon.
A new Panda
Oh, yeah,
Teemo
man.
skin?
I'm serious.
Oh my
They
goodness.
they don't stop with those skins.
They should really stop with the Teemo skins. They're
Never enough. Never.
never
There's
enough
so many
skins.
Teemo players, man.
That's
so
what brings
many.
in the money, though.
Exactly.
It brings in the money.
After the Teemo bug fix, like it's every game. It's like you
Teemo.
just see Teemo everywhere. It's so bad. Yeah.
I never see Teemo on this server.
You never see Teemo?
No.
I'm switching to.
Have they not picked up? Has EUS not picked up on Teemo?
Nope.
Muffin Power wants to know who's the worst top pick.
Oh,
Top pick?
Evelyn.
Okay, the worst real top pick.
Yeah. That's a good question because there's a lot of really good top lane picks. Like, does Heimerdinger count as a top laner?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you can run.
But he's actually good top lane, so that doesn't really
I was
work.
gonna say Janna because you can't really get your tornado to curve the corner.
I've seen a Zekent or as most people know, Spam Happy play Janna top, and he does it pretty well. It's very nice, man.
Damn. Okay.
She can ward. They say she can ward. So.
We actually had a good question. Another good question. Not that yours wasn't good, Muffin. But we have another question. Was how do you deal with Jack's top, and how do you how do you keep him manageable late game?
Yorick.
Yorick.
Most people pick Malphite against him now.
Oh yeah,
Malphite
Malphite.
does really well. Really well.
That's interesting.
I've
Yeah.
never seen that.
I've never seen the Malphite pick against it. I guess it's the tankiness.
It's all
No,
in
it's
the,
the attack speed decrease. And
Yeah.
like late
Mm.
game you can, not shut him down, but you can do something about him.
you can build a Frozen Heart, a Randuin's, and your E, and Jack doesn't have any attack speed anymore. He doesn't do any damage.
That is true.
That makes a lot of sense.
Hard counter.
That's
It's
a really good
like
pick.
how he's a hard counter to Yi and such of that. You know, all those auto attackers.
That was a
Yeah.
really good question, Shinsetsu. I'm terrible with name pronunciation. I apologize. As you can see with It's Serious.
Serious. It's serious.
Is it serious?
Is it
Yeah.
serious? Is it serious? Here we
Yep.
go. All right. So let's move into Irelia. I mean, I love Irelia top. Even
I hate
after her
Irelia.
nerfs, you hate Irelia?
Yeah.
Everyone
She's so
hates
stupid,
Irelia.
dude.
Why is she stupid? Before I go into my questions, why is she stupid?
Because her traits are just stupid. Once she gets to level 9 and she has max W, heat and cell, she outtraits like almost everyone.
Exactly. That's why I love Irelia.
Who's the top laner for Goose? Is it Balls? Yeah,
Yep.
Balls. I had to play against this Irelia once, and literally at the 20-minute mark, he had 250 CS. It was the stupidest thing I've ever seen. He just spammed that Q, never missed a single CS, and 1v5'd our team. It was awful.
Was this pre or post nerf?
It was after the most recent buff.
Okay, yeah, okay. That's
Yeah.
So a lot of people are asking about that. Was the most? They didn't think that the most recent buff was actually a buff. They thought it was just like, oh, well, they're trying to bring Irelia back to the table. I think it was actually a pretty significant buff, wasn't it?
The
Yeah.
health regen really came into play. It makes
Like you
early
just
game.
get health regen quints with it and you're back to the old Irelia.
It was the
Mhm.
health regen, and I thought it was the base health increase because now she's
It's health regen.
what?
It's all in the health regen.
All in the health regen.
She can stay in lane forever. It doesn't matter what you do.
All right. Sounds good then. All right, so we just talked about the Varus patch buff, and then we're gonna go into the Lulu patch. Was the Hinton style passive health restored reduced, and while active health restored doubles to basically it does go back to its original form, and then Transcendent Blades cooldown increased to 76. All right, so I'm looking at Nightlight's Irelia. He's 66% or 66.67% wins for 27 games played on EU West. Have you played against this guy? Is it serious? Nightlight Irelia, or excuse me, Nightlight is his summoner name.
Can you type it in the Skype conversation? Because I
Yeah.
think I wrote it wrong or something.
Night light. It's in the chat. Excuse me, the own 3D chat. Since if I bring up the Skype chat, it'll mess with the XSplit broadcaster.
So wait, 66%? How many games?
66.67 for 27 games played.
Oh, 27. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was like some crazy number.
No, no,
I
no.
don't think I played against him. Maybe. I don't know.
He had I think he had the best percentage for the most games played, and that's why I pulled his stats. And so
Yeah.
he pulls up a lot of Triforce and Wits End, and then normal boots, GA and Wriggles. So when do you build Triforce on Irelia? Is that always?
Yeah, it used to be Frozen Mallet Atma for some time, and now it's back to Triforce.
Yeah, Irelia goes through phases. People like different items on her, because you can really build anything on her and get the same results. It just depends on, what the preference is.
Right. I like playing with Wit's Frozen Mallet instead of Triforce because I feel like Irelia is too squishy without the Frozen Mallet and just the Phage health. How do you guys
The job
feel
of
about
Irelia is just bursting someone down, and then
It's-
with her passive going out of the fight again.
Yeah, it's also all about the farm. If you have as I said, 250 CS at 20 minutes, you can really build anything, and you're tankier than everybody else.
that? So you just want Irelia to go in and assassinate someone and then hopefully get out of the fight to maybe
then
get
they
It
have to
again.
hit
depends on your
everybody
team
else.
composition, though. If
Okay.
you have like a squishy jungler, it's better to build Frozen Mallet, Atma, Wits End, but else
Okay.
you can just build Triforce.
So there are a lot of different things that come into play, such as team comp, when deciding if you want to build Triforce or go with a Wits End Frozen Mallet comp. Okay.
Yeah.
What about the Wriggles though? That was pretty interesting when it popped up.
It depends who you're against, really. Like, if you're against a heavy physical, the stain alone from the Wriggles can allow you to just, farm forever and get all the CS, which is what you need to do as Irelia. So the Wriggles really helps there, but if you're not taking much damage, just the Wriggles isn't worth it, just skip it.
Okay.
Because
Sounds
it
good.
delays your Trinity Force if you build it.
Yeah.
Definitely. Sounds right. So do you think that with this most recent buff, is Irelia finally balanced, or do you think that we will probably see another Irelia nerf coming along?
The problem is just her kit.
Nerf her. I want her nerfed more, like three more times at least.
So you guys don't like Irelia at all? It's top
No,
laners.
never.
No.
I should just stop asking these questions then. So let me ask this: how come, if you guys don't like Irelia because of her kit, like because she is so strong, how come you don't play her yourself?
She's boring.
She's boring.
I only play Irelia when I'm not solo queuing for the team, but yeah, I have like 9-1 lost 5 now, but
Yeah, but
I
he's,
don't like her that much.
Okay.
it's the same reason I don't play Nidalee. There's champions that are just super annoying to play against, but they're not fun to play as, and only people who like to drive their enemy crazy ever play those champions. Like Kennen, Singed, Rumble, and Vladimir.
All right.
And there was a quick question asked there about the Darius versus Draven, which I'm a little curious as well about on your guys' input on that.
Wait, what?
Darius
About
was-
Darius versus Draven
Oh.
1v1. Ignoring the rest of the team comp.
Darius, I guess. I
Uh,
don't know, actually.
I saw this matchup, but I'm not exactly sure. I was smurfing, so can't count on the skill of the players. But what I saw happening was the Draven would try to harass the Darius, and the Darius would run up face first, pull him in, use all his skills, and the Draven would just die.
Because of that ult.
He'd just die. It took less than a second.
Sounds about right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was ridiculous. And of course, the Draven was on my team.
So, speaking of, okay, so hold on. We have Stateratus asking
Straterus.
Straterus. Thank you. What happened to Udyr top lane?
There was some slight nerfs, but they weren't really too major, so they didn't do much. But what really happened was people learned how to play against Udyr. Udyr could be out harassed, and it wasn't the same defensive powerhouse as it was. The whole point of playing Udyr was that you could never die, and
and his turtle shield got nerfed too, or at least the shield gives.
That's right.
And suddenly Udyr started dying in lanes. Nobody wanted to play him anymore.
And most people know that once you play Udyr in lane, Udyr needs to play aggressive from level 1 onwards, else he isn't that effective anymore.
Alright, sounds good. So let's talk about Darius, since we're already here. So, in the Draven patch, we're seeing his hemorrhage bonus attack damage ratio reduced to 0.3, 0.4. First off, that's not even significant, is it?
No.
Okay.
It's not going to change him much.
That's what I thought. Actually, Soki brought that up, that it wasn't that significant of a change. So, the Apprehend pre-pull animation is modified to be more readable for enemy champions. So, have you noticed, have either of you played against or with Darius since then?
I've played one match with Darius and I won the game. So, I don't know.
Darius and I lost the game.
Oh, man.
No, but it was all my fault. As I said, I've been kind of sick for the past couple days, and I was like really feeling bad, so I just kind of fed my lane horribly.
Oh, okay. So has anybody noticed the new Apprehend pull animation? It's actually pretty noticeable now. It's a lot different than what it used to be. I think it actually allows Kennen to now get away a lot more easily top lane, it seems to me.
It feels glitchy to me. His E has always felt glitchy to me, like they should be in range, and then they just don't get pulled sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just me, but
The animation is weird.
I've seen it too, where sometimes it'll pull and sometimes it won't, and it kind of just pisses me off sometimes. Like, I should have got that Kennen. Arr. And then they'll just lightning rush away, and it's like, oh, I'll never see you again. Anyways, so I'm looking at Theranos, 1989, EU West, 69.57 with 45 games played. And this was about last week, and he'd only been out for, I think, 4 or 5 days. So, I mean, this guy played a significant amount of games in a short amount of time.
But he has the advantage that people don't know how to play against him yet.
yeah.
Yep.
If he just plays a few matches, he's like, whoa, I know how to play this champ.
And he definitely gained quite a bit of elo from from playing these 45 games. Just
when
by playing games.
Talon was like first released, I think at the beginning of season 2, I went something like 30-7 as them, just because nobody knew how to play against Talon.
Wow. Okay. So I'm looking at Theranos, and his item build consists of, I believe it's probably 2 Dorans, into a Bloodthirster, Hex Drinker, Triforce, which I thought was interesting, and then Standard Boots, and then Aegis as well. Actually, since seeing this, I started building Aegis, and I feel like that's a really strong item on him. It just adds your team to be a lot. It makes you tankier, and it allows your team to be a little bit tankier. I thought it was a very cost-effective item. So have either of you played Darius? So just 1 game each?
Well, since the nerf 1 game, but
okay, so before
the nerf, I had actually played 2 games as Darius, and both of them happened to be with a team. I did not play him in solo queue at all. I just picked him with a team because he was supposedly overpowered, and I dominated my lane both times. So yeah, that worked out pretty well.
All right.
Although I know something, I can miss his Q so many times that I never learned. Yeah, it's funny. It's ridiculous.
Because you want to catch that edge of that circle.
Exactly.
That's the most damage.
Exactly.
I've seen where, like, I just feel like he's such a strong 1v1er for the fact that ult, once you get those 5 stacks, you can cut a whole person's health in half.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's pretty OP. And yeah, the Noxian Guillotine only refreshes when it deals the killing blow. So even if that the hemorrhage, even if the hemorrhage kills them, it won't refresh, and I found that quite annoying after the patch, since I had forgotten about that.
Well, there's still cases where, like, if someone happens to dodge your ult, so like for instance a Fizz just jumps while you're trying to do your animation, which is quite, easy to see actually when you see him jump. There's I guess it's like half a second or second that you can actually see him doing his jump.
Right.
If like he does, I guess miss, he still gets it refreshed.
Right. Well, if he misses the ult, it doesn't count as being used, is the thing, right?
Well, it does on some champions. Like, some champions will get downs if they're dodged, but his ultimate just, ignores that rule.
Alright. I've never noticed that yet.
And it feels like it's kind of like a Cho'Gath Munch that you get to do over and over again. But I guess the reason why they don't see it that way is because you have to get 5 stacks.
Yeah, but you can still, you can easily get a pentakill without any stacks on any enemies just by spamming that ultimate at the right time. Like, a lot of people say that Darius' passive is what makes him OP, and while his passive is, really what does the damage for him, the fact that his ultimate just can get him automatically fed is really where his damage comes from.
Do you feel if they removed his scaling, that would make him a little more balanced for that ult? His scaling with, his AD? Even though it's just a small margin?
It might kill him, actually.
I think he's in a fine spot now.
Yeah, he's pretty okay now.
He has no mobility and dies to jungle ganks,
Yeah. Like,
and
he still
some
deals that
champions,
damage.
like Cannon, rapes him in lane, and Lee Sin is also really good against him. Because Lee Sin can disengage, can slow his attack speed, all that stuff.
I see that there's a random question there by Muffin Puffer about the 100 champion. There's been a lot of little leaks about the name being Joyce or JC or something like that. Spelled Jayce, and there's a lot of people assuming that it's Cassidon's daughter because it mentions about the Void. Just if you guys want to take a look on Reddit there. It's from what I've gathered. And supposedly they're doing Pulsefire as around the same patch.
No one plays Azrael anyways.
I can tell you, this new champion is going to be completely overpowered at release. They're going to nerf it twice, and then it's going to be balanced.
Well, you have to remember that they're going to bust out a legendary skin for it as well. Then they're going to nerf it twice.
Right. Well, no, they're going to give it a buff with the legendary skin and then nerf it again.
There you go, just like what they did to Shen.
See, but the thing is that when they did all that potential for the Wukong, he didn't come out that overpowered until late game.
True,
so,
but
you never know. And that was like, they put a video, they put all that stuff, kept you for like 6 months. I honestly don't remember what time frame it was, but still, it's like they put so much thing to let you know there's a Monkey King out there, and he just turned out to be another average champ.
Yeah, but, he still is the Monkey King.
He's one of my favorite top laners, but it's sad about his beginning there. It just sucks.
Yeah.
Alright, so we had a question, and it was actually one of my questions listed. So where do you see Darius fitting in the current meta? Do you want to see him top lane, or would you rather see him in the jungle?
Top lane.
Top lane, yeah. He's okay in the jungle, but he belongs in top lane with his harass and trading skills.
Okay. I actually love seeing Darius in the jungle more than I like seeing him in top lane. Just because it throws everybody off, and people think, oh, well, it's going to be Darius top. And they'll start counterpicking. They'll pick, like, a Kennen, or they'll pick Vlad, and they're like, oh, well, he'll never catch me. And it's like, oh, well, I took Smite, so see you later, guy. So how do you counter Darius top lane? And who counters Darius?
Tryndamere.
Tryndamere.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to face roll him as Tryndamere, because you can just ignore his ultimate, and you can tower dive a full health Darius as Tryndamere. It's pretty fun.
Well, wait a second. His hemorrhage is still on Tryndamere, even though he's in the... Oh, right?
He can't burst you with the ultimate. Like, any good Tryndamere will take cleanse or get a quicksilver sash for the ignite.
That makes
sense. And then your Q will out heal the hemorrhage, and you're fine.
Alright, that makes sense.
That's true.
So what would you advise a Darius to do against a Tryndamere?
Don't try and engage on Tryndamere early, because he'll just murder you. And survive until level 6, and once you're level 6, get harassed in, but stay away from meleeing him too much. And when he's low, you can try and bait him into wasting this ultimate, Eing him, and then finish him with your ultimate.
All right. Sounds good. I actually have someone who wants to be on the call, and he has questions about Kayle for Umashi. So let's get him in here.
Should you throw him around and fix the
out.
UI?
Out. Right now. Come out.
Implunk tree.
Kick Brock. No, his name is Brock. Kick him out.
No,
Right now.
he's actually serious. He's actually serious.
Sorry.
Don't be mean. Don't be mean. He has a serious question.
Hey there, Brock. Smooth. What's up?
Hi, Umashi.
How's it going?
So
I actually have a serious question.
Alright.
What kind of item build do you go for Kayle and why?
Well, it depends on the matchup. And my team comp. If I can go, I like hybrid or AD carry, so I'll go with either like a Milady and a Wit's End, or I'll go more into a full physical build with a Infinity Edge and a Phantom Dancer. Really, it depends what kind of resistance the enemy team is building and what kind of damage your team has. Kayle's pretty open to builds. You could even build Kayle as a tank if you really wanted.
Alright, for example, if you have a counter in your lane, like top lane, how do you play her then? Do you play like aggressive still, like trying to harass when you can, or do you like go like passive and just farm what you can and like wait for a gank?
Aggressive. You just stay at max range, harass at max range, but you want to stay aggressive.
Alright. Who counters Kayle actually? Like what champions are strong against her?
All I can really think of is Yorick, and just because of his sustain and he can harass from a range. Not like Vladimir can survive past like level 9, but gets owned earlier, and Kennen can do okay, but if Kennen gets caught out of position, he'll get murdered.
Jackson and Lisa do well too.
Yeah, Jax can, that's true. Jax never has to die to Kayle and can farm pretty well, but it's pretty hard to kill the Kayle.
How about Warwick? I've never seen like Kayle win from a Warwick. To be honest.
Kayle would have trouble killing Warwick, but because Warwick's sustained, but Warwick would have trouble getting within range to kill Kayle as well.
Okay. Well, that was basically the question.
All right.
Thanks.
Well, thank you very much for calling in.
No problem.
Have a
See
good
you.
one.
Broccoli.
I bet he wanted to troll me so badly, but he just didn't do it.
He said it in the message. He said, "I think Umashi's gonna think that I'm trolling, but I'm not. I actually have a serious question." So that's why I added him. You know, he had a real question to ask. So there we go.
That's hilarious.
So we have Irelia asking, "What are your
My-
thoughts on AD in Italy?" And I guess can't get seemed used to the idea.
Ooh, literally. Oh man.
She's so strong in lane.
Yeah. Well,
But she's
I'd-
gonna
I'd-
split push like the whole game long.
I'd like to take the question away from just AD Nidalee to Nidalee in general.
Okay.
Because the thing about Nidalee is, I'm actually going to use a game as reference. I was playing a game as Nidalee top, and I had AD runes, and the enemy Nasus had 64 plus 64 armor at level 1. That's 40 from runes, 6 from masteries, and cloth armor. So I just built AP instead. Like, I had 80 runes and 80 masteries, but I built AP instead, and I just stomped him completely. Because the thing about Nidalee is she can build any way for any game. She's highly mobile, she has the best poke in the game, if you build her right, she can just hard engage. She's just too versatile of a champion, and she has too much.
Yeah, but the same thing is for Kennen. He can also go AD at the start and then transition into AP.
Okay. We just had another question for who counters Jax. I don't think we covered that. We covered who counters Darius, and they said it was Trinamir. Oh yeah, that's right. Malphite and Yorick were the answers. That's correct.
Yorick. Just a. Oh, never mind. You can go on.
All right.
I have a question there also. For I think they said Darius, do you feel that Kayle could be a counter as well?
Um, that's a well. It really depends how close Darius can get, because I could see Darius doing the whole thing where he just bursts a ton of damage out, but Kayle does have the ultimate, so it would really depend on who's has the advantage in lane, who's farming better and stuff. I think it could go either way.
Okay, sweet. If you want, we can take a quick break here before we go into your individual champions, and we'll be doing a quick RP giveaway. We'll just throw we'll throw a code out in chat and give that away.
I like this last question asked in the
What was
chat.
that question?
AD left. We talked about this in the chat with Snipes too as well. Remember that?
You play AD Lux?
AD Lux in both mid and well, I play AD Lux top where I actually go AD, and I also play Lux mid where I run AD runes but I go AP.
Okay.
And,
If we're gonna bring up AD runes and building AP, what about Kennen? I actually saw Wings of Death do that against Riven, and I found that to be super effective against her. It gives you the health, you still get damage from your W, and I don't know, it just felt like a really great item on Kennen, and it worked really well. I never lost the lane since then as AD-ish Kennen.
Yeah, I do that too now, but instead of a Doran's Blade against Riven, most of the time I just build a Doran's Shield. For once she gets on me that I can survive.
Well,
if I make a mistake.
I think I take armor, or I take physical damage reds, AD quints, and then I take armor yellows, and that's all I really need. I think, because once she gets on you, especially because most Rivens, and I'm a low ELO player, I'm in the 1300s. So once a Riven jumps on you at level 1, they think, oh, well, I won the trade. Well, it's like, well, here's a Shuriken, here's a couple auto attacks in between, and they're like, wow, well, I just got chunked, a quarter of my HP, and then they really won't ever come at me again. I don't know. Maybe that's just because we play at different ELOs, and that's the way I see it working well for me. I don't like building a Doran's Shield on Kennen. I saw it in a guide once, tried it, and I never really liked it.
yeah, actually, Doran's Shield on Kennen is pretty classic. Before people were building boots, and before Kennen was really popular, Doran's Shield was the standard on like every Kennen against every opponent, even in 8P mid, just because you could stay in lane forever. Because like Ego Noxia is the one who really made that popular, because he's the guy with over 3,000 Kennen games.
Wow. Alright. If you guys want, take a quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll go into Izitserious' champions that he likes to play. Alright?
5-minute break? Or
Yeah, we'll take
5
a 5-minute
minutes.
break, and I'll type a code in the chat.
Alright.
Okay, then I'll be right back.
Alright. Scratch off gently with a coin. I don't have a coin, so I'm just going to use my key. And hopefully I can scratch it off gently enough.
Keep the stream up. Keep the stream up.
It's up. Oh yeah, so here's the thing. I'm scratching it as we speak.
Breaks are for the weak, guys. Breaks for the weak.
I'm so sorry. I just wanted to give these guys a minute to breathe.
I'm kidding. Talk about random stuff here.
Yeah, just keep on typing random stuff and then I'll post it. Spam the chat. Make it a game.
I always saw what's his name? The Rain Man play Volibear top quite a bit.
He's always like Volibear for some reason, and I don't know. He got nerf batted too hard for my taste.
He just, I don't know. And I feel he had like one of the strongest pet passives there. Unless you get ignited, of course, but everything has a counter.
Alright. Are you gonna spam chat there, Soki? So I can throw this out there?
So you want me to spam chat?
Yeah, just spam. Yes, we're gonna post the code in chat here in a second. Just spam chat with random numbers and letters, and then once mine pops up, I'll throw the code out there. There we go. We got someone else doing the work. Jeez.
I can't spam it. Won't let me.
Fine. There's the code. There's the code. I'm just throwing it out
Look at
there. Nope. Too late. Too late, everybody.
Too late.
I was
Too
tired
late.
of holding on to this code. I was tired of holding on to this code.
Yeah, you have to do another one where they can't copy and paste. They have to actually put it on the screen.
All right.
Should do another one that way.
That sounds good. We'll do that.
Yeah.
So there's the code.
You can't even see that.
You can't even see it? Oh, hold on. I gotta pull up my XSplit. Oh, here we go.
They're. You sure? I had no idea that they're only N.
I had no idea. Are they really?
Hmm.
I thought it was a
Universal code. That's what I thought.
yeah. It doesn't
Yeah,
say
that's kind of
any,
weird. That does seem weird to me.
it doesn't say
But
anything on the terms and conditions that it's NA only.
But it does kind of make sense though because they're only sold in the U.S. They need to have a marketing with the EU as well.
That's dumb. Is there any way to like transfer them to EU then? No?
No, I highly doubt that. That's why they have like
Ah.
separate codes for like NASA's and stuff. But
That
I
makes
would
sense.
assume that
Yeah,
could work for
exchange
both.
rates too strong. That's dumb.
So whoever has,
So like
you
the
know, I
one
might put this code in.
the one NA guy will get it. The one NA guy watching right now.
I already got it. Nope. Me. Nah, I'm kidding. Not
I
gonna
won
give you
RP
guys.
before, and you have to do it through the prepaid code part of the RP bit of the store. So you have to buy it in the store, and then you can like give away the code to different countries. Is that what you're saying?
I think so. Quite sure. You know,
Oh.
they've been making fun of that Draven spin quite a bit on the loading screen
Oh.
with that that meme where she fiddles with the little leak, and they're putting that song to his spin. And they've also been doing the "You Spin Me Right Round."
So anybody who is interested in the TSM Evo versus Fnatic game, it is TSM Evo with 7 kills, Fnatic with 2 kills. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. TSM Evo with 10 kills to Fnatic's 4. Fnatic won game 1. TSM Evo is 5k up and 5 towers up.
Ouch.
Yeah, so they have a pretty good lead going into this. And an inhib down. If it look, yeah, and an inhib down. All lanes are pushing. I think they just picked up Baron not too long ago. Basically, you can't put the in the code section, so it tells you to go through the prepaid code section of the store section. I don't understand. All right, what's your idea, McMuffin Puffer? You make a quiz.
What?
That can work too, and the first person to answer quiz, you know, all you have to do is say something about somebody's lore, and I'm pretty sure people are gonna have to go look that stuff up. Because nobody really reads the lore all that much.
That works. We could do that as well. Oh my goodness, we have snipes. We have snipes in here now. I feel honored.
Snipes! Oh my god, where's Bunny Foo Foo? Let Soki give it the codes. How? Come
Yeah,
on, Snipes.
since I have the physical
Ow.
codes, and Soki
You know,
doesn't have.
guys, you know,
Since I have the physical codes.
get this. I guess you type them out, and he's saying me pass them out somehow. I have no idea.
I feel like there's a little bit
I-
bias going on because I feel like most of these guys are probably KSG members. I don't
Nah,
know.
it's just Snipes. It's just Snipes.
Just snipes?
Yeah,
Alright.
right now everybody's asleep in our community right now. 2
Really? It's
o'clock on the
noon.
morning,
It's
and
noon.
everybody's asleep. I'm serious.
At
in
noon.
KG, if I go to the TeamSpeak right now, there's like 5 people on, all from Australia.
Oh my goodness. I don't
This
even think
makes
I got.
so much sense.
I don't even think.
Okay, I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
I'm sorry. There's a few more people on right now. I guess some people are barely waking up.
So who got the first code?
No idea.
Or did it even? Oh, okay, so someone did get it.
A pop.
All right.
Snipes just messaged me and he's saying hook me up. I'm sorry, Snipes, but I'm not gonna do that.
Sweet. So at
You
least
have to
someone
win
got it.
like the rest of everybody else.
So there's no way for me to give out these codes to any of the EU players. Is that correct?